my enemies. May you have a very, very, very bad day. But that only goes out to my enemies, not to my fire family, who I hope have a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful, and blessed day. Blessed and highly favored. That's what I think about the fire fam. To my enemies, you know what I think of y'all. But anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome back. It is the Tuesday edition. Damn, I was about to say the Remix Morning Show. Not quite. It is Burn It Down with Kim Brown. We do this every Tuesday and Fridays where we burn and set oppression ablaze. Thanks so much. I did miss the Remix Morning Show this morning due to no fault of my own. Set my alarm and the shit just didn't go off. I don't know what to say. I woke up way too late and I said, well, if I try to hurry it up, I'm going to be quite discombobulated. And, you know, H-Town. You know, H-Town, you know. 3T. What's another group? Who is a trio of light skins that I can insert Kamal Jarrett and Air Doctor. 3T, I think 3T works. You have to absolutely be of a certain age to remember 3T. Shout out to Michael Jackson. But anyway, H-Town was anyway, whatever. So whatever. Appreciate to all who tuned into the Remix Morning Show per usual. Go subscribe to Black Liberation Media when you get the opportunity, please, and thank you. Hope everybody had a wonderful and safe holiday. Actually, as I say these words, I do remember exactly something I wanted to do. And maybe we can do that. I don't know. It depends on what y'all feel like. I wanted to get a Thanksgiving recap from some of y'all that might have had a spicy Thanksgiving with some of your family members. Because I know we have some folks who have, let's say, opposing political views to some of their loved ones. How did all the talk go around the dinner table? How did it go? I don't even remember who played the Thanksgiving Day football game. Who played the football game? I don't remember. Everybody cool? Everybody was all right? Nobody get tossed out? Nobody got disowned or even worse, disinherited? I know how some people's folks do. So if you had a spicy Thanksgiving, and you want to talk about it, we'll pay attention to the chat. It's just say yes in caps so we can take a poll. I'm contemplating dropping the link because I told you all I am so addicted to real and regular people's stories. I'd be willing to let you talk and tell me all about it. So we'll table that and we'll take an informal poll. I guess we could actually take a proper poll, but you know, we don't utilize all of YouTube's tools over here. I blame myself first and foremostly. So anyway, but just say yes in the chat in all caps if you would like to discuss your spicy holiday. So there's that. But in terms of tonight's show, it's a cops ain't shit kind of night, everybody. What you think? And can I say, even though I didn't pull any clips from this person, I'm very excited from Donald Trump's nominee, potentially, of Cash Money Patel. Cash Money taking over for the 9/9 and 2000. Donald Trump has nominated Cash Patel to run the FBI. Cash Patel said he is going to close the J. Edgar Hoover building on day one and tell the FBI agents that are assigned there, he's going to reassign them to bureaus across the country and tell them to go be cops. I'm like, what? However, and I know he is a brown skinned person in a brown shirt. You feel what I'm saying? You're picking up what I'm putting down. He's a brown shirt, brown skin and a brown shirt. No question about that. But how greasy he talks about the so-called deep state and federal law enforcement, I gotta say, I'm a fan. I like it. I cannot even front like I don't like it. So we're gonna keep an eye on Cash Money Patel. Cash Money talking great. And I just want to make sure that the FBI does not get their new headquarters built in Prince George's County, Maryland. That's my hope. I hope Cash Money Patel is on the right side of history. Though he did say that they intend to come after journalists, and I'm not certain. I'm like, well, which journalists? Which ones? You going after Jen Psaki and Simone Sanders? Okay, shit happens. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think what other who are some of the journalists we don't like. Everybody with MSNBC, y'all going after them? I don't know what to say. I don't know who I'm rooting for anybody anymore. I can tell you who I'm definitely not rooting for. Definitely not rooting for Joe Biden and the pardoning of his son Hunter. Now, let me say this real quick. I know I got a show to get into. It is a Cops Ain't Shit show, and it's a good one too. So stand by. It's Burn It Down with Kim Brown. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me say this real quick about Joe Biden pardoning his son Hunter. Gave him the clean pardon. Said you can't even fuck with Hunter for 10 years worth of shit. I said, God damn. I said, who gets that kind of blanket immunity? A senator, vice president, and president's son. Of course, of course. I will say this. I disagree with the fact that people who use drugs are not allowed legally to have guns in the first place. I do not think that that should be a federal law. I don't think that should be against the law. Because if you know, people that do the kind of drugs that Hunter Biden was accused of doing, they kind of need pistols. You feel me? Like Hunter Biden was out here in these mean streets of Wilmington, Delaware. What is he supposed to be out here buying big boulders of crack rock with no strap? Does that even make any sense? Shouldn't he be allowed to exercise his Second Amendment right to tote that steel while he's snorting that blow, snorting that snow in Farmer? I disagree with the law. He shouldn't have been charged for that. That was the shit he got in Delaware. That's not the shit that he just got exonerated from. I understand. All these Hunter Biden shits all ran together for me. Here's the thing. Joe Biden is the architect of the 1994 crime bill. When he was Senator Joe Biden, and I think he was atop of a handful of committees, but when he was on the floor of the Senate, thundering about the crime and something must be done about the crime, he was joking with Strom Thurmond and Robert Byrd and all them fucking Klansmen. He said, yeah, I'm going to make jaywalking. By the time I get done, jaywalking is going to be a capital offense. You know how many people went to jail for drugs, small amounts of drugs, copious amounts of drugs? You know how many people caught possession with intent to distribute? You know how many people caught trafficking charges? Thanks in part to Joe Biden's 1994 crime bill. You know how many people continue to go to jail for these arcane drug and gun laws? I will throw that in there, that were championed by none other than Joe Biden. And here come his son fucking up with drugs and guns. But his son doesn't have to face those consequences. His son doesn't have to endure the indignity of being incarcerated in the federal system, no less, right? He doesn't have to endure any of that because he's a senator's son, fortunate son, if you will. Shout out to Credence, you know, and fuck that. Fuck Joe Biden. Fuck Hunter Biden for being a 54-year-old Nepo baby. And it's not about Trump also did. Trump also, he also pardoned. Yeah, they did. So what does this tell you? Somehow Joe Biden is more moral because he exonerated his son rather than Donald Trump, who exonerated his homies. The system is corrupt, both wings of this wretched foul bird called America, right? And this is part of the reason why the system needs to be overturned. There is no reformation for this. The elites will continue to always look out for one another. Let Trump's cabinet picks reflect the fact that America itself is an oligarchy. And let Joe Biden's picks. Let everybody's fucking picks to be in wielding the levers of power. These are the oligarchs. They are. And this is the system. This has been this way, regardless of Republican or Democrat sits in the White House. So miss me with all the it's fuck them all, kids. It's fuck them all. All right, I got that off my chest. Y'all ready to get? Oh, before I get to, hold on. So we're doing a little teeny tiny fundraiser. Will, did Molly send the thumbnail? She did. She dropped it in the Slack. I meant to ask you that before we went up. We'll go find that. I think Molly put a thumbnail up. She had to put a thumbnail up because y'all already sent some ran us some bucks. And I'd like to thank you. Please stand when you hear your name. Allison. Thank you, Allison, for your generous Venmo. Thank you so much to my niece Alicia for your generous Cash App. Thank you so much to Dabless G for your very generous Cash App. Guys, we're doing a mini fundraiser. We're only looking to raise $1.2 million in the next 2 weeks. Okay, maybe not 1.2 million. Okay, maybe it's more like 1,200. But 1.2 million, we just gonna throw that out there, just in case the universe decide to catch that and throw that back at us, right? Let's put our expectations. Let us raise our gaze if we if we will. 1.2 million is our goal. However, if we are able to achieve 1,200, we will consider it a victory nonetheless. So appreciation going out to those that have already contributed to this fundraiser, mini fundraiser, but 1.2 million is a goal. We appreciate that. And thanks always to our wonderful patrons. We know you guys got charged on the first of the month. Y'all got hit in the head for your usual patronage and your support. We thank so much to the patrons. We thank so much to our channel members and everyone that contributes generously via super chats and all the cash platforms. BIDWKB. That's oh shit! Someone just sent us some more money. Cash App. That's BIDWKB. That's also Cash App. That's us on Venmo, and that's also us on PayPal as well. I thank you guys to pieces. Hey, I think that's Anna Hart. Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you so much. You and Mama Lorraine, you guys are fantastic. I appreciate y'all so much. All respect to our Round the Fire Disability Support Sesh fam, which we will be meeting not this Saturday, but the next. Is that right? Saturday the 14th, Anna? And Abby, am I able to calculate calendar in my head somewhat? So, yep, every second Saturday of the month, we do our Round the Fire Disability Support Sesh. Thank you so much to Anna Hart, Abby, Mama Lorraine, Swabby Fabry, everybody that comes through. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay, let me get into this story. Because it kind of has a happy ending, but it doesn't. It doesn't really. And one of the things that we aspire to do on this platform is to continue to expose not only how much harm that law enforcement does as an institution, but the specific harm done to Black people, Black communities, and in this particular case, Black women in Kansas City, Kansas. It's Burn It Down with Kim Brown, Tuesday, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Like, share, subscribe, comment, chat. So the federal trial for a former Kansas City, Kansas detective who has been accused of, federally anyway, violating the civil rights of numerous Black women. He has also been accused of fabricating evidence, getting people falsely convicted for murder. He's also been accused numerous SAs, RAPEs, and sex trafficking. And his exploits were well known in the Kansas City, Kansas community, literally for decades. And it took so many years for anything to even be done about it. And by the way, this fucker wasn't alone. He was in cahoots with the rest of the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department. And they were causing extreme havoc in the Black community in that part of the country. Well, this punk motherfucker was supposed to start his trial beginning of December. Windra, thank you so much, Windra. We appreciate your support, Windra. Thank you so much for that Venmo love, BIDWKB, for the support. This punk motherfucker's federal trial was supposed to start this week, beginning of December. Except the cops went to his house because he was supposed to show up for trial and he didn't show up. Why didn't he show up? Because he allegedly shot himself in the head. Now, I have questions about whether or not that's accurate. I have questions about whether or not this piece of shit, Golubski, let me pull up his name. I think his name is Roger Golubski, and he's a whole terror. And he was a Kansas City police detective for over 30 years. He is also accused of sexually assaulting minors. He is accused, again, like I said, of leading to the wrongful conviction of a young man whose mother this cop was sexually extorting or attempting to. And when this woman refused, that's when he pinned this fake ass murder case on her child. Of what I believe he was, this young man was eventually exonerated. But the first place I want us to start, I want us to look back here if we can. Hold on, where are we going here first? Okay, yeah. So this is going to be a press conference, and this is an organization called United Justice Coalition. And they are based in Kansas City, I believe, and they have been circulating petitions. They have been doing rallies in support of the survivors and the victims of this piece of shit cop. And when it was speculated that this cop, either that the feds were attempting to negotiate some sort of plea potentially, or there was even talk of him getting out of jail, which he did, by the way, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. But I want us to first hear from one of the organizers and one of the survivors of cop Golubski. Let me spell this shit for y'all so y'all can drop this in your Googles. Golubski. Golubski. I'm so sorry, but no, you know what? I'm not sorry. Fuck this cracker. Fuck this piece of shit. Matter of fact, I'm gonna intentionally mispronounce his name every time now. Golubski. Fuck this motherfucker. So, but first, I want us to go to the press conference that was put on by United Justice Coalition. They've held a number of these rallies, and they really got the fostered and created the space and the opportunity for the community to really speak out about what they have endured and how they've been traumatized by this police department, Kansas City, Kansas, KCK. So, Will, let's go ahead and cue up that press conference. Then just let it roll. I'll let you know when we stop.
Systems that allowed these atrocities are dismantled and rebuilt with transparency and integrity. Today, I want to acknowledge the power and courage of the women who stand here, the survivors. We pledge to continue to fight for you. Justice for Kansas City, justice for every survivor, justice now. Thank you.
Hi, first my name is Michelle Hawks, and I like to say thank you to everyone that came out and support us. We've all been through a lot. And we're not going to give a fight, forgive me, for our rights. At one time I was a rape victim. Right now, I am a survivor, and I'm going to keep on surviving. I'm here to stand as the voice of the people that cannot speak for themselves. There's people that are locked up that he played a major part in. There are people that are in the grave that can't speak for themselves. I'm here to speak for them. I'm the voice of everyone that has been done wrong by Roger Golubski and all the victims. And we as a whole, we're not going to give up. He was brought here to protect and serve, and all he done was harm and demean the black people in this community, the minorities in this community. And we refuse to stand any longer and let fear stop us from speaking up. Yes, sir. And as I say, no justice, no peace. Right. I'm not going to stand by and be quiet any longer. That's right. As I say, yes, it hurts, but I become stronger, and it's strength in numbers. And it's a bunch of people standing behind me that also has been affected by the wrongdoing of the KCK Police Department. Because as I say, Project Golubski couldn't do this alone. He had many co-defenders that stood by and watched him do what he did. I can't say some of them might have been scared because of their jobs or the harm that might come to them. And as I say, I know you're watching and you know what you saw while you worked there. And as I say, he couldn't do this by himself. He was a gang because he couldn't do this alone. That's right. So as I say, no justice, no peace. I'm going to keep speaking out until he is behind bars where he has put many innocent people and it affected all these families. And at one time, I used to be very suicidal because of what happened to me. But I refuse to let this take me out. I want the justice. We matter. I know a lot of people probably don't think so, but black people matter. And when someone takes something that's so innocent and precious from you that you can't get back, when you trust an officer to do his job and instead he harms you, no, that takes a lot out of you. So as I say, we're not going to stand by any longer. We want justice for the things that has happened to us, the things that we still go through every day. That's not going to change. But putting him where he needs to be will help us heal a whole lot more and heal this community because it's still going on. It's going on all over the world. There's a lot of Golubskis out here in every state. And people need to stand up for their family members because if not me, it'll be your family member or someone else's family member in another state. Don't be scared to speak up. Don't wait until it happens to you to speak out. And all I ask is thank you very much for everyone coming out to support us. And as I say, no justice, no peace, and thank you.
Good, well, thank you. Yeah. Incredible. And what those sisters said is so accurate. First of all, that's right. This predator piece of shit police, Golubski, this motherfucker would not have been able to commit literally dozens of sexual assaults, maybe hundreds. Who really knows? They think he murdered people. They know that he railroaded people into wrongful convictions. As the sister said, people that's in jail right now behind this man's fuckery. He was doing sex extortion, rape, sex trafficking. He had an apartment complex that he had. There was a dude, a brother, unfortunately, a civilian or a criminal, whatever, but a sex trafficker working with this cop, helping to sex traffic women all over the region. He would come to women's houses and demand that they give that they acquiesce to him sexually. And when they refused, he just R-worded them. This one sister said that he raped her the one time and then he kept coming back. And she said that she was going to tell. And he asked her, he laughed at her, according to her. There was a documentary actually that the United Justice Coalition helped to put together. You should go to their website, by the way. It's very informative. But the one survivor, one of lots of survivors, when she told him to stop coming by to rape her and told him that she was going to tell, he laughed and asked, who are you going to tell? And she said, I'm going to tell the police. He said, I am the police. This man was a cop for over 30 plus years. His partner went on to become the chief of police for the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department. In one instance, when he was literally sexually assaulting a woman in the police station, another officer, I don't know if it was his partner specifically or not, but doesn't fucking matter. Another officer walked in, saw him, and left, closed the door, allowed the assault to continue. So that is correct. The Department of Justice does need to look into the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department. And I know I just sat here and offered glib praise for Cash Money Patel. And to answer whoever's question out there, well, Kim, do you think Cash Money Patel is going to investigate the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department for all these accusations? No, I don't. But you know who else is not investigating the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department? I'm not sure if Joe Biden's DOJ is. I know that it took them it took federal officials literal decades to catch up with this cop, right? And now the cop is dead because the cop allegedly unalived himself. And given the fact that I don't see how Golubski, I really don't see how this motherfucker was going to be able to testify in court or be tried in open court and his cohorts not be named, or his accomplices or his enablers manage to beat this unscathed, right? I'm not convinced he killed himself. It's not unusual for cops to take each other out. It's not unusual for the trash to take itself out. Now, he's gone down. I was going to say gone up to yonder. No. He did not go up anywhere. He has gone down into the depths of Hades, correct? So now, no trial, right? No more case. No more no more prosecution. Now what happens? Now, what do these victims, what do these survivors get? So I wanted to but highlight really quick, still the level of protection that predatory police who are known to be dangers and menaces to the community, the way that the system still manages to protect and coddle and make sure that they're okay. I want us to take us back 2 years because, again, this federal trial has been close to 2 years in the making. And for it to literally be over on, I think, the first day of the trial is wild because this motherfucker is alleged to have killed himself. I'm not convinced. So I want us to take y'all back to September of 2022. Because after the feds got with Golubski and arrested him, he was being held in jail. He was literally being not released until his lawyer petitioned the court to release him on some sort of compassionate release because he's an old man and he was sick. What do you guys think what do you think the court did when they found out that this man is accused of multiple rapes, multiple dereliction of duty, multiple? Will, please start the video at 21 seconds in, please, third, please, and thank you. When his lawyer petitioned for this serial rapist, potential serial killer, potential serial railroader of innocent people, do you think the judge agreed to let him out or decided to keep him back? Let's take a look. Let's go back to September of 2022.
Tools. This is Roger Golubski from the past 2 court appearances. This week, he was wearing an orange jumpsuit. Both times when the alleged crimes were read against him, he appeared shocked, surprised, even shaking his head.
Roger Golubski is now free of the orange jumpsuit.
I'm not shocked.
It wasn't the outcome his alleged victims and their families wanted.
Absolutely not.
They packed the courtroom in Topeka, Kansas.
I know Thursday it was a overjoyed feeling to even see him in handcuffs.
Golubski and his attorney argued his medical conditions, liver failure, heart issues, and diabetes were too severe to be in custody, that if he didn't get treatment, he would die.
I think this is a convenience to say that I'm so ill I can't be held accountable for the damage that I done to my community and for the people who that damage was done and is still being done to.
The government said treatment could continue in prison until the trial, arguing this is a pattern of Golubski's behavior, allegedly raping and terrorizing Black women and children, and that there is no combination of release terms that would assure the public safety.
I am a victim of Golubski's. They saying that this animal is sick. My sister's dead. My cousin's dead. My life has been ruined. My children didn't get a mother that they could have had. because this man stalked me.
His attorney claiming there's no evidence and alleged crimes are old and unproven. Many now forced to wait for what's next.
The community was able to breathe a little bit when they locked him up, and now I feel like everyone's about to go back on hiding.
It will be about a month until he sees a courtroom again. His conditions of release include he'll be placed in custody of a long-term partner. He can't leave the state of Kansas or have any weapons. No contact with any victims or witnesses. He'll be on house arrest and wearing an ankle monitor. I'm Megan Abundis, KSHP 41 News.
What I find interesting, well, there's a lot I find interesting there, but what I kind of find a little funny towards the end when the reporter is detailing all of the terms and conditions of his release, and one of those include he can't have any firearms, and yet this motherfucker was able to what? Shoot himself in the dome, allegedly, right? We'll see. But you see how the system, no matter what, no matter how monstrous, no matter how dangerous, no matter how grotesque and disgusting, a cop being accused of these things is still going to afford the consideration. He's always going to get the benefit of the doubt. Well, look at this old man. He got liver failure, heart failure. Yeah, he's not going to survive in prison. We should let him go home until the trial. Oh, if he was so fucking sick, how did he survive 2 goddamn years since that video and up until his untimely death, right? Motherfucker wasn't sick. The motherfucker was afraid. As well he should have been. And the thing is, guys, many wise women have said this before me. I'm going to paraphrase and repeat if I can. America better be glad that we as Black people look for justice and not revenge. That we hope endlessly for the scales of what is right and correct. We wish for those scales to be balanced the right way, and we do not go seek vengeance. But I say unto thee, beloveds, depending on the level of offense, I don't see where vengeance is bad here. I don't see that. There is no way in the world that this specific piece of shit, this decades-long criminal offender, this sex trafficker of children, this rapist, this killer, this horrible human being, somebody should have greenlit that motherfucker long time ago. We shouldn't even got to a trial. Shouldn't have been no trial. They must have been keeping him in protective custody when he was being held, because I do not see, I do not see how the folks behind the wall was not able to put them paws on this man. You know what I'm saying? I love to delve into penitentiary TikTok. It is very informative. I have learned quite a lot about the ways that justice is meted out behind the wall. And cops, abuses of women and children, at the top of the list to get dealt with by the people on the inside, who even themselves may or may not have committed egregious offenses, but they take particular disgust and offense to crimes committed against women and children. How did Golubski, how did he survive? But anyway, I don't think he should have been surviving on the outside. And I don't know if there's a way to do this. This is sounded like some underground sort of information that, needs to be compiled and disseminated in some way. But cops that are doing harm, we should know about them. We should know their names. We should know where they're stationed. We should know what they're accused of. We should know what the word on the street is about them, because oftentimes, especially people who experience sexual assault at the hands of cops will not go and report, right? For obvious reasons. But I think we should know. And we need to figure out some strategy, because we cannot count on the system to hold its own fucking jackbooted thugs to any sort of accountability. For every Derek Chauvin, or for every, what was that piece of shit out in Oklahoma City? He was because you know I'm American and I'm kind of racist, so I identify people via race. But he was mixed race. he was white and Asian. I remember, I can see his face clear as day. I can't call his name. This piece of shit cop in Oklahoma City was convicted of raping dozens of Black women, and they put him in a prison and they didn't tell nobody where he's doing his time. But my point is, people knew. And I don't think these people, I don't give a fuck who they are, to be honest. Because I'm not just talking about predatory cops. You guys know I'm talking about the predators, period. And if they happen to be cops, oh well. If they happen to be cops, oh well. Then they should absolutely know better. And they should not be out here engaging in domestic terrorism activities. Rape is a war crime, okay? Let's be clear. And like my comrades on Black Liberation Media will be quick to tell you, we are at war. And this particular cop, Roger Golubski, he was absolutely at war with the community of Kansas City, Kansas. And the people felt powerless, which is heartbreaking to me. You know why? Because niggas that live in the Midwest have amazing aim. Them niggas is gun clappers, okay? Gun clappers, okay? You know how easy it is to get a anything in goddamn Missouri and Kansas? Very simple. Golubski should have never made it to nowhere, to jail, to trial, to nothing. And here's the thing. We also have to be willing to support the soldiers that is willing to put in that work. If you understand what I'm saying. If somebody's willing to do that and take that, we have to find out who they are. And if they get hemmed up, we have to support them. Okay. They should never not have clean socks on the inside. Like they did that for the people, for the women, for the children. I don't care what this sounds like. I don't care if it sounds radical, y'all. We live in terroristic times. And one person, again, cop or no cop, regular man or no man, priest, pastor, ball player, coach, husband, father, I don't give a fuck who it is. Either we're serious about protecting vulnerable and marginalized members of our community, or we're not. I would ask the rhetorical question, either we have confidence in the system or we don't. But the answer is we fucking don't. And nor should we. The system has not given us any reason, proof, pattern for us to believe that Black women, Black children, Black boys, Black men, that our interests are ever going to be served and that justice is ever going to be met out on our behalf. We shouldn't have no expectations of that. So I think it's time, as my comrades would say, to get organized. And we got to figure out how to talk about this shit on the low, because I think we need to start circulating names of these terrible people. I don't give a fuck what their profession is. I really don't. Awful. And if public humiliation is part of that, public exposure is part of that, then that needs to be done also. I just can't. I don't think that we should continue this way. I think there needs to be real world consequences. And to me, that does not always mean being held in a jail cell and being given time. The universe operates in many ways, and karma can be revisited upon folks lots of different ways. And this raggedy ass American justice system, this judicial system, y'all, what was we just talking about? Hunter Biden, Donald Trump, fuck them. This ain't the system to be putting your hopes and dreams into, beloveds. You better believe in your goddamn self, and you better believe in your ability to protect yourself, your family, and your community. Sometimes that shit might take getting creative and some good aim. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna take a pause here because I do have another cops ain't shit story on the horizon for ya. Because this cops ain't shit story is local. Whoa. Localis. What's up, Will? You trying to step in here? Step into the realm before you get caught. Will said no. Nobody called in?
No, just make sure people hit that fundraiser that we got.
Hey.
And please support, hit the likes. We have 100 people in the chat. And Sweary Fairy had a story.
Oh, you have a story, Sweary Fairy,
Yeah,
for
Sweary Fairy. That's it though.
Oh, okay.
And they just said yes, they have a story to tell. So
is it a good story, Sweary Fairy? I'm here for good stories. We can drop the link, Will. Sweary Fairy, you can drop the link, and whoever want to click on the link can click on the link. Let me get through my next joint, and if it's story time, I'm here for interesting Turkey Day familial conflicts. I love mess. Give me the mess. Bring the mess. Oh, baby, bring it on to me. Bring it on, bring it on. And give me your Turkey Day drama energy. All right. Cops ain't shit. Guess where they ain't shit at, y'all? Right here in Maryland. Did you know this? It's Burn It Down with Kim Brown. Tuesday, Friday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Like, share, subscribe, comment, chat. Fire fam, we appreciate it. Hello to my enemies. We wish you have a very bad day. And the police are the enemies of the people, okay? Even if the people themselves don't seem to believe it. So this story is interesting because it involves an FBI agent, okay? A current FBI agent, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think he has been relieved of duty, despite the fact that he is being accused of assaulting 2 women, right? Potentially even a third, okay? And the Montgomery County State's attorney seemed to find these women's allegations credible because they have charged this FBI agent. But hold on, plot twist. Could there have been something in this agent's past that would have been an indicator to tell us that he was at minimally, Lord have mercy, at minimum, this person may have been capable of violence in some way. This person may have been capable of doing harm to, people that they didn't know. Well, it turns out that the same FBI agent who has now been charged with assaulting 2 women, a couple years ago, he was actually acquitted of attempted murder after shooting a man on a metro train. A man he didn't know, a man that never assaulted him physically. And I couldn't believe when this acquittal happened. I said, Maryland, what the fuck? Like, we just cannot, or we just refuse, I suppose. I can't say cannot. I can say Maryland juries seemingly are unwilling to throw killer cops in jail. This shit is wild. So I want us to go back. Wait, what do I have on the dock first? Do we want to talk about the current charges or the former charges? Because the fact that this motherfucker was acquitted on these attempted murder charges is fucking crazy. Because you're going to see in this clip, you're going to see some surveillance footage. And when you see the surveillance footage, it looks pretty clear that this man should not have been attacking or shooting this other man. But hold on, let's start with the current charges. So yeah, let's get up to speed on this. So this is this FBI agent. I'm assuming he is Montgomery County, Maryland based. And now he is facing multiple charges of sex assault. And this clip is actually going to open with the press conference given by the police and the state's attorney, sort of detailing the ways in which this FBI agent is alleged to have coerced sex and basically committed some sort of sextortion, prosecutors allege, of these 2 unsuspecting women, with possibly a third coming forward to make an allegation. Let's go ahead and take a look at that.
I'll defer to the charging document. This is not a case that involved a weapon. It's not a case that involved displays of weapons. There are other
According to the charging documents filed in the case and what police said at a morning news conference, Eduardo Valdivia opened a tattoo parlor on Washingtonian Boulevard in Gaithersburg back in February, and then began advertising on Instagram using DC Freeline Tattoos. Police say Valdivia used two aliases, Lalo Brown and El Boogie, and never mentioned he was in law enforcement. Then at night and on weekends, he would work in the studio, and according to the police, made contact with two women through Instagram. Those two women tell police Valdivia sexually assaulted them during filmed modeling appointments. They did not consent to sex, they said. However, Valdivia's attorney, Robert Bonsib, says the sex was consensual, and he has emails to prove it.
Let them bring it on. You know, the first two aren't victims any more than presumably this third person is going to be if you read and interpret what's in the statement of charges. That statement of charges does not allege the typical kind of allegations of rape that we see. These women went to a business office in Rio, in an open area where they can walk out the door anytime they want, and they not only did not walk out the door, they came back. Now, they're going to have to be an objective 12 folks in the box that will listen to this evidence and decide this evidence. But this case has a lot of more fight in it.
Thanks for watching. Stay on.
Get out of here. Sorry. I get grumpy at Lester Holt because Lester Holt don't be asking good fucking questions. Anyway, so those are the latest allegations, but I want to take you back to when this same FBI agent who at, I guess in 2022 or 2021, let me pull up my doc here. So I find it interesting that after being acquitted of attempted murder, this man goes into the tattoo business, like whilst still being an FBI agent. Like, what is this? A typical side hustle for FBI agents? Tattoo parlors? Interesting. Anyways, December of 2022. Go ahead, Will. Cue that up for me, because it's only been 2 years since this fucking cop was acquitted of attempted murder, and I hope all of the jurors who sat during this attempted murder trial, I hope they all realize that, yes, this is the same person who's now being accused of sexual assault. And maybe you should have taken his propensity towards violence against members of the community a little bit more seriously, because clearly this man is dangerous, in my opinion. So pay close attention to the body cam, not the body cam, but the surveillance video, the CCTV video that was rolling in the Metro train. And keep in mind, you guys, the DC Metro is the public transportation, right? Like, sure, shit happens. Shit happens. But I can't imagine I'm riding the fucking red line going out to Mo County, Silver Spring, Glenmont, White Oak, Wheaton, wherever, and the fucking FBI agent starts blamming because somebody asked him for money, and the person asking for money began cursing while walking away, and this cop shot this man in the back, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, I want you guys to just look at the absurdity of the U.S. justice system and the absurdity of some of our members of our community who are selected to sit upon juries and see evidence like this and decide to acquit a cop because they always want to give police the benefit of the fucking doubt that they do not deserve and have never earned. So let's take a look.
In just the past half hour, a jury has found an FBI agent not guilty of attempted murder after a Metro shooting 2 years ago.
Right, the agent shot a man on a red line train after he asked for money. Paul Wagner just got out of court and joins us with the very latest on the story. Paul?
Hi there, Erica and Leon. It took this jury just about 3 hours to come to their verdict, not guilty on attempted murder, not guilty on voluntary manslaughter, not guilty of assault. The agent, Eduardo Valdivia, sat to the side and he was shaking his head as if in affirmation. He was clearly emotional. He looked to his family to his right, who were, many of them were in tears. To give you a perspective on what the jury was deliberating in this case, we want you to hear what happened this morning during closing arguments.
It all started with a fist bump. You can see it in the video that is the centerpiece of the prosecution's case. An encounter that doesn't escalate until the prosecution says a man asking for money walked away cussing, and FBI Special Agent Eduardo Valdivia stood up to say, "Watch your mouth." In his closing argument to the jury, prosecutor John Lalo said it was over until Valdivia couldn't let it go. A little over a minute went by before the agent pulled out his 9mm pistol and shot the man he says was about to attack him. The prosecution told the jury, "You don't get to shoot people for hurting your feelings." He never touched him. There was no immediate threat. This was not a reasonable response. He had options. He chose the most serious. The victim, who did not testify, was shot twice, but survived. The agent's attorney, Bob Bonsib, had an entirely different take, telling the jury he believes what he did was necessary. There was no intent to kill. He had 15 rounds. He only used 2. His intent was to protect himself. The defense was dismissive of the idea. The man was just asking for money. A Metro Transit officer told the jury during the trial the man was well known to police and had a propensity for violence. The defense said, "Just a panhandler? Yeah, right. I've got a bridge to sell you. He's every commuter's nightmare."
Now, that victim never testified in this case. He wasn't called by either side. The jurors, as they left the courthouse, I encountered a number of them. I asked them if they wanted to comment. They all said no. This was a very emotional case for this FBI agent and his family. At one point during the closing arguments, the agent's wife broke down in tears, got up, and ran out of the courtroom. So that's the latest here from Rockville.
The cop's defense attorney said there was no intent to kill. He had 15 bullets in his clip. He only used 2. Oh, I didn't know that it's only 2 or more bullets that are deadly, right? That are lethal. What kind of fucking reasoning is that? And can I actually commend? Oh, I'm so sorry to do this. I do want to commend the Montgomery County State's Attorney's Office for even charging this fucker. He deserved to be charged. That is reckless behavior. You don't get to shoot people anywhere, least of all on public transport, because they're cursing or even if they're behaving weird. That isn't this what we're still looking at in this New York City subway murder, right? Which I do believe the defense rested last week. I do need to figure out are they still deliberating? I don't know what happened with the Marine Daniel Penny who choked out the 30-year-old black man who was experiencing a mental health crisis again. Why? Because he was yelling and cursing at people on the subway. It's America. Like, I'm not in confusion at all. I'm sorry. I do believe that the person who was shot in this particular case, I believe that they were black also. And when black people are experiencing mental health crisis, if they are acting erratic or in a not so-called normal way, or they're disabled in public and it's not clear what their issue is, yeah, I guess people are just allowed to just open fire on us, huh? Because they're acting erratically, they're being loud, they're making people uncomfortable. So death is the only reasonable solution when you have a black person in public not behaving in a so-called normal capacity. You're allowed to shoot them. Shame on all those fucking jurors who acquitted this fucking pig of attempted murder when he absolutely deserved to be convicted. I appreciate the state's attorney's office even charging him. God damn, some of these so-called progressive prosecutors, these black ones in particular, could learn a lesson from these crackers in Montgomery County, okay? Because I appreciate the state's attorney in Moco not going for that shit. Yes, thank you very much for charging him. I'm so sorry and disappointed that the jury did not see it that way. But I bet you the jury might see it differently now. And you know who else might see it differently? Agent Villardo's wife. Didn't you hear? She was in the courtroom when he was acquitted of attempted murder. She ran out of the courtroom crying. You think she cried when she found out her husband is an alleged rapist, accused of raping at least 2 women? So let's say this. Let's say the rape allegations are untrue. At minimum, this motherfucker's unfaithful. Ooh, girls, don't stand by your man. Don't do that. Don't do that. You go on the other side of the room and you stand against that motherfucker. You don't stand by no goddamn rapist. You don't stand by no goddamn predator. You don't do that. Don't do that, girls. These men will embarrass you. They will embarrass you. Do not do that. It's just interesting to me because you guys, most people are not criminals, right? Most people don't find themselves in the crosshairs of the criminal justice system for multiple felonies within a 2-year time span, okay? A lot of these cops are themselves criminals, okay? And the only reason we know about any of their deeds is because they accidentally fucked around with the wrong people, right? They actually fucked around with some people that might tell eventually. I would love to know the history of this agent's conduct of service while they have been in the FBI. I would be inclined to believe that these are not the first sexual assault or sexual impropriety allegations against Eduardo. So what can be done to make the so-called institution that people call upon for help, for assistance, for safety, for justice, if there's no incentive or if there's no real desire to make sure that you're not hiring loose cannons, reckless people, racist, misogynist, people who are homophobic, who are transphobic. But I've said this. I think police departments and law enforcement institutions with intentionality allow some psychos and obvious racist, misogynist, homophobes, etc. They let them on the force. They want them on the force, right? Like there is something about having folks that uphold, these fucked up ideologies. I guess there's something to that, right? Like the ableism, like how many disabled people we've seen bust up by the cops, snatched up, assaulted, murdered by police. How are you even allowed to engage with the public when you cannot recognize when people may be in some sort of crisis or just may be disabled or women or girl or whatever? This is why we can't have any faith in any of these institutions. And unfortunately, the criminal justice system includes that. Because I'm so disappointed in this jury in Montgomery County that let this cop off. There was another cop in Prince George's County, you guys. You guys know this story. Again, I'm so bad with names because there's been so many people that's been murdered by police. But the gentleman who was in police custody in the police cruiser, handcuffed behind his back and seat belted, and he was shot 6 times by the cop. And the cop was acquitted in PG County. Maryland is not as progressive as advertised. And to me, guys, you know what that tells me? That there was people in both PG County and Montgomery County, 2 of the most non-ish whitest places in the state of Maryland. Throw Baltimore City in there too. They sometimes be letting cops off for some bullshit. Like, yo, we got to be talking to our people way more and way more aggressively. And anytime anyone in your circle, your family, your peer group, your church family, I don't give a fuck. They start talking that cops got a tough job shit. The fuck they do. You know who has a tough job? Sanitation workers. You know who has a tough job? Nurses. I don't doubt that the police deal with a lot of shit. Somewhat. But to me, that doesn't make their job implicitly more or less dangerous than people who do work from other fields, right? And this whole mythology around cops are the good guys with the guns, cops this, cops that. Well, cops don't even like to rein in the so-called bad apples. In fact, their unions protect them all the way to the hilt, guilty or not, they don't care. And again, it's not a system that we can uphold, because guess what? That system routinely gets turned against us as Black people. And guess what? Whites, oh whites, oh whites. I see the system being turned against you with regularity. The more I'm seeing way more police brutality against white folks than I think I've seen in a long time. Against your children, against your elders. It's pretty remarkable. And the reason why the police are accelerating their violence against the folks that I suppose had some expectation of protection from the police, the whites, the reason why the police are accelerating their violence against the whites is because, number one, y'all got smart ass mouths. Number one, you talk too goddamn slick to the cops. And second of all, so much violence and brutality has been allowed against Black people in communities of color. The cops just figure, hey, y'all must be with the shits. Oh, so we can come and brutalize your children the same way. We can come and terrorize your elders and your family members, loved ones who are experiencing mental health crisis. We can come shoot them down in front of you because you ain't say shit when it was Black folks on the receiving end of those bullets, when it was unarmed Black folks in particular on the receiving end of those bullets. First, they came for how's the saying go, everybody? First, they came. I don't know who did they come for? The Smurfs. First, they came for the Smurfs, and I said nothing. And then next, they came for Gargamel, and I again said nothing. When they came for Azrael, no, that's not how the phrase goes. But you understand what I'm saying. It's time to speak up when you see injustice everywhere. Okay, there's no exceptions. And I'm going to keep a close eye on this particular case with this FBI agent, Velardo. Because the Montgomery County State's Attorney, number one, can I tell you guys this? For these most recent charges, he was not given a bond. The judge said that he was too dangerous. He was too much of a threat to the community to give him a bond. I said, oh my God. Common sense. It lives in particular pockets. Amazing for that to happen. So even though, like the fucking pig in the previous story, Velardo might just tell a sob story that his herpes is flaring up or something, he can't be in jail. I don't fucking know. But anyway, expect him to get some sort of release at some point. But right now he's being held without bond. Kudos to the judge on that. But I'm going to pay attention to the story because it just validates my already existing biases, that cops as a profession have a propensity towards violence, not only against people that they encounter on the job, people in the community, but they also have a propensity of violence towards their family, towards their significant others, and they're dangerous. And if we don't do something about it, all these fuckers are going to be training at cop cities around the country, learning IDF suppression techniques, knees on necks, etc., knees on throats, rubber bullets to the eyes, all the shit they learned from the Israeli forces. That's just going to be mushrooming in front of our face if we don't stop it. And to be clear, it's been going on even under Joe Biden, even under Barack Hussein Obama. This shit ain't about to get more terrible just because it's Trump. It was going to get terrible whoever the fuck was the president. Kamala also. Kamala wasn't going to stand in the way of these construction of cop cities. In fact, Kamala was ready to deploy 1,000 plus more border agents at the border Why? Because she's a cop. And she's pro fucking cop. And this is what cops do. So you all pay attention to the cops in your city and watch these motherfuckers because they are dangerous. So I'm gonna take a quick break. We'll go ahead and cue up that palate cleanser for me. And is anybody on the line? Anybody want to tell their holiday story? Holiday.
No.
Oh, nobody called. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead with the palate cleanser. I want to appreciate and send love to everyone that's watching us tonight. Please be sure to like the shit, give it a thumbs up. Thank you so much. Support our fundraiser. We're trying to raise $1.2 million, but we will accept 1,200. But if we can aim for that 1.2 million, let's go for that. Let's go ahead and aim for that. Let's shoot for the stars. Let's go for that. Thank you so much to our wonderful mods tonight. Thank you so much to Learn Life. What's up to Anna Hart? What's up to Dawn Bird? Who else is a mod? What's up to Latif? What's up to Court? Hey, Courtney. What's up to Chuck Diesel? What's up to my son, Tyler? What's up to all of our folks who always check in? Fire Fam, we appreciate you guys so much. We appreciate you all also supporting the good people at Black Liberation Media. Please go over there, like, share, and subscribe. Also, tune into the Remix Morning Show Tuesdays through Fridays, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. Shout out to the comrades. So, me as a middle elder, I don't know if I'm an elder. No, I'm a middle elder. I'm middle age. I love it. Love it. You bitches could not ever get me to trade places with a 25-year-old. Why? For what? I don't think so, baby. I love being an old lady. This shit is great. I love auntiedom. It's wonderful. Oh, and child-free auntiedom. Mwah. You niggas don't know how good it feels. But listen, as a middle elder, I'm understanding the importance it is to take stock and most importantly, heed the wisdom of old people, in particular, old women. Do you know why? Because there's not a woman on this planet who makes it to be old and she ain't been through some shit. Okay, she ain't been through some shit. I bet you she's had to get back some niggas up off of her and everything. You know what I'm saying? She maybe had to pull out the knife, the pistol. You don't know what an old woman has actually lived through and endured. So when old women start dispensing advice, I listen because they know. They would know. So I encountered this TikTok and it really warmed my heart. It really warmed my heart. And I think you guys will be able to take away a wonderful and important and consequential and truly meaningful life lesson from the words of this elder woman. Let's take a listen. Today's palate cleanser.
What's one thing you would say to people at 93?
If I were 93, which I'm going to be 94 in July, I would tell the world it has happened because I have never been so hurt by the world since I'm older. When I was young, I had a great time. Now that I'm old and gray, well, bald, there'd be nothing left. So it's best that I say, go and fuck yourself and don't come near my house.
Wait a second. Yes. I'm 93. I'm going to be 94. And my advice to everybody is go fuck yourself. Do not come near my house. I said, yes, Granny. Yes, Granny. I concur fully. So listen, that lady's in her 90s, okay? You in your 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s, Don't sit here and endure no bullshit, okay? Because that's all it is bullshit. The world is just trying to see how much of its bullshit can you endure? How much of capitalism's bullshit can you endure? How much of the patriarchy's bullshit can you endure? How much of homophobia's bullshit can you endure? How much of misogynoir's bullshit can you endure? This is why Gen X is checking the fuck out in their 50s, because we've had to put up with too much shit. Fuck that. The granny said, go fuck yourself and don't come near my house. And I want y'all to heed that. Brothers, heed that as well. To anyone that would be in a position to potentially disturb your peace or upset your life in any way, tell them to go fuck themselves and don't come near your house. Per granny, because grannies be knowing. And that's the show, kids. That's going to be the program for esta noche. So we will see y'all back here on Friday. Yes, we'll see y'all back here on Friday. I keep wanting to say for the Remix Morning Show. I must be missing 3T. Did y'all give me any good suggestions? What's another come on, give me another. What's another light-skinned trio that I can dub Jared, Kamau, and Ear Doctor? What's another one? Give me a good one. Good. Not no. I know, but DeBarge, Kamau is DeBarge by himself. They all can't be DeBarge. Kamau is revolutionary DeBarge. I'm gonna give it some more thought. I'm going through my mental Rolodex of R&B groups. I'm coming up short. 3T is where I'm at. So anyway, 3T it shall be until we have a better suggestion. Do me a favor, you guys. Like the video on your way out the door. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks to all that's already contributed to our fundraiser. Will, didn't I see some boxes going up? Did anybody throw anything up? I thought I saw some shit. I thought I saw blue boxes and green boxes. Was I mistaken?
So we had Anna Hart say the next around the horn. Around the fire will be December 14th.
Oh, yes.
Thank you to Anna Hart for reminding us about that. We appreciate you. Vesper X said BID with KB and qualified immunity and stop Cop City.
Yes.
Yep.
Correct,
and Teresa gifted 5 memberships. So we love and appreciate Teresa. Thank you so much for all your support. We appreciate it. And 2F said, thank you, Kim.
Hey, Fern French. Thank you so much. Allison, yes, thank you so much to the folks. Dabless, Alicia, thank you so much. Dawn Bird, everyone that supports and continues to support. We appreciate you guys so much. 1.2 million, everybody. Come on. Chop. Let's get on that shit. Let's get on that shit. It's time for us to start robbing folks. We need to run a scam. Put your thinking caps on. I want us to scam the racists, and we need some creative ideas. Even though it does not seem as though it's that difficult to separate the racists from their money, but maybe it is. Shit, I don't know. But y'all put your scamming thinking caps on. We're gonna figure out how to separate these Trump supporters from their dollars. So y'all get on that shit. All right. You said what?
Yipper had name suggestions: Tricolor and Mellows. I don't know how these are good, Yipper. So I don't know.
No, Mellows is excellent.
Tricolor is a little funny too. I sound like 3 light-skinned people making a production company.
But you get why Mellows is so genius, right?
Yeah, no, the Mellows is great. That's a great one.
For y'all that don't know, and even though I don't recommend drinking this beverage ever, it's probably very bad for you. But Mellow Yellow used to be a soda, and for the Mellows Yellows, Yipper, gold, baby. That shit is gold. Well done. All right, y'all. I will holler at y'all on Friday. I'm gonna be on the morning show one of these days. I don't know if it's tomorrow or Thursday. It'll be a surprise to us all. Let us all find out together in the mornings. Black Liberation Media, 8 a.m. Eastern. We'll see you. Thank you so much to Will and Molly. Thank you so much to all. We'll see y'all back here on Friday, kids. Love y'all. See y'all later. Bye-bye. Deuces.